Hello and welcome to this Sunday Catch-Up podcast. How are you and how has your week been? I really hope it's been a good one, and it certainly has for Will I Can and I, because we are still in India and it's been such a full-on week this week. It really has. We've been on a sunrise boat in Varanasi. We've been on safari. We've had car sickness. We have had a little bit of chilled catch-up time as well. So it's all been go for us. And I think I will start at the beginning of the week this week. Makes change. Normally I like to go backwards because it's what I remember the most. But we're going to go backwards because we had, I think on the last catch-up podcast, I'd said that we were in Lucknow. We'd driven from Rudapur to Lucknow on the Sunday. And then on the Monday, we drove we didn't really like Lucknow. I don't know what it was. We were only there for one night. We didn't really go out, only to find a Starbucks. But it was a bit of strange energy. Can't put my finger on it. Hotel seemed a bit off. I don't know. Just didn't like it. Don't need to go back. I'm sure it's got some beautiful heritage sites and it's lovely. But it just the bit that we saw, we weren't that keen. But on the Monday, we drove to Varanasi. And have you been to Varanasi? Oh, it's very different. It's steeped in history, and Buddha. We went to the place where Buddha first taught, which was Sarnath, which I'll talk about on here. And then it's very ancient, and you've got loads and loads and loads and loads of ghats. It's a really, really interesting place. But we turned up, got to our hotel, and it wasn't quite ready. Our room. So the guy there said, "Oh, have a coffee." So we sat down, had a coffee, and I just had this happy feeling. I said to Will, I said, "I think I'm going to be really happy here." Will looked at me thinking, "What on earth have you got me into, Carolina?" Because the agreement was that we would go to Varanasi because it's somewhere that I've always wanted to go to, and that Will would stay in the hotel room while I did the tour the next day, because I don't know if you've seen it on the telly. It's Winder, isn't it? And Ryland, they'd done a program on it very recently, which Will and I watched, which was really funny, and we loved it. And so that was the agreement, that Will was going to stay in the room, and then I was going to do the tour. But Will decided that he was going to come with me on the tour, which was going to be really interesting because I knew what to expect. I knew how dirty it was. I knew that the Ghats had the cremation grounds, so I was fully aware of what was happening, and I did tell Will. So anyway, I felt like I was in my happy place. It felt a really nice energy in Varanasi. It felt really nice, and I just thought, yeah, this is going to be great. So that, because we'd arrived at lunchtime, we'd arranged to go to Aarti in the evening, and Aarti is a ritual that's done by priests all over India. It's done every evening, and the Aarti in Varanasi is all about saying thank you and being in gratitude for River Ganges. And so I'd always wanted to see Aarti there. We'd seen it in Haridwar, which was mind blowing. So we wanted to see it in Varanasi. Now, there's a ghat, a very, very old ghat, where the Aarti is supposed to be incredible. But it's closed to, apparently, we were told it's closed to foreigners. Excuse me just for a minute. It's closed to foreigners by getting there by car. I don't really understand, but this is what our guide said to us. And then it's a 3-kilometre walk to the ghat. He didn't sound keen. I was thinking the heat and everything else, so we weren't keen. But they said that there was another ghat where it was amazing. So we went to there, and it was kind of like more modern. I still think it would have been one. I think it would have been wonderful to go there, but I weighed everything up and decided that we'd do the modern. We'd do the modern one, and it was incredible. We got there quite early, so we saw all the build up till the arty, till the ritual started, and it's like a theatre show. It really is. They have a singer, they do music. It was a real incredible evening. It was full moon. They had these really massive prayer hands on the Ghat as well. So Ghat is Ghat. It's like a platform going down to the river, and there's hundreds of them in Varanasi apparently. Um, the river line is just full of them. I have them in Pushkar as well, the Ghats. I think they have them all over, but this is where it was. So it was really nice. We were standing, and then the police came and told us we couldn't stand, so we just kind of sat down. And then, because it was quite full, some people were just let us sit next to them, which was really nice because it was much more comfortable because we were there for quite some time. And then we watched this beautiful, beautiful performance ritual of priests, and it's all around the elements. And so they blow this beautiful horn, they light incense, they sprinkle water, they and they face the four directions as they go round, and it flows, and the music that goes with it is just beautiful, and it's just absolutely stunning. Will I Can said it wasn't a patch on Haridwar. I tend to agree with him, but I don't know if that was because that was the first time we ever saw it and it was so amazing. It was pretty cool doing it on the banks of Varanasi. It was it was it was just beautiful, and we had front row seats in Haridwar as well, whereas we were back some on this one. But yeah, it was just really nice, and I had to kind of pinch myself that I was actually there watching it, having wanted to go to Varanasi for so long and didn't think we were going to get there because it's so far out to where we normally go, but we did it. And so that was rather spectacular this week, and the smell of the incense, so it hit all the senses, and everyone around was really friendly, and it was just awesome with the moon, and it was just out of this world, and I absolutely loved it. The next day we got up incredibly early because we were being picked up at 5:30 in the morning, and we got a sunrise boat on the river Ganges, which was a complete eye opener. So people come down to either people can either be cremated by the side of the river, and it's for salvation. It's for like for them to have the moksha. It's for them to be released from lifetime. And they believed if they're cremated at Varanasi, they don't have to come back this lifetime. And if they can't be cremated there, people come with their ashes, and then they put them in the river. And people come and do all sorts of ceremonies by the river in Varanasi. So we were coming to do this sunrise boat, which was going to take us along the Ghats so we could see Varanasi in its fullness. And obviously, it's a really good time of day to do it because it's cool and we can see lots going on. So we turn up, and there were people doing their ceremonies. Now, the river, apparently, because there's been so much rain and it's only just stopped, was very dirty. But they said normally it's clear. I'm not sure I believe them because the amount of stuff that goes into that river, I honestly can't see how it's clear. But maybe it is because Rishikesh was very clear water, but so much goes in there. And Will was actually talking to the guide, And he was saying there are 3 reasons why someone can't be cremated by the banks of the river. But they go out to a platform, tie bricks around the body, and then put them in the water. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about that, honestly. I don't know if he was having Will on or he was being truthful. I don't know. But the river was just full of stuff. But there was just some beauty within it all as well. And the fact that people, this tradition has been going on for years and years and years and years. And it was incredible to witness. So we went along on this boat along the banks of the River Ganges, and um, seeing all the hotels, the hotel and the buildings, and that each state kind of had a building, and countries donated staff and everything else. It was definitely an amazing sight, and I've done a YouTube video on it. It hasn't come out yet, but it will be coming out over the next 4 weeks. What's the date today? The 13th of October, Monday, 13th of October. So it will be coming out. So do subscribe to my YouTube, and then you'll get that video as well when it comes out. And I've recorded it all, so you'll be able to see it. And then he took us to the main cremation site where the fire never dies. So it's a constant fire, and people can come and cremate their bodies by the river banks 24 hours. Now, I have a fascination on this. We saw that in a big temple in Nepal, and then seeing it here in Varanasi, it's just so incredible to witness the whole, we have that whole cycle. Obviously, we're born and then we die, and it's just fascinating to watch. And honestly, I would, if anything happened to me in India, I think by the river, being cremated would be my ideal thing to happen, definitely. So yeah, we fully witnessed that. It was right there in front of us. I did record it, so if you don't want to watch that, then you'll have to forward wind my video. But it looked like something it looked something like the film we watched, which was The Blitz. It was absolute chaotic, but yet absolutely magnified and colourful and incredible and totally humbling and amazing as well. So, yep, then we went after that. So, we then went round the narrow streets of Varanasi. We had some tea. We went to a shop. We got ripped off, but I just wanted to get out of there. So, we paid like £10 for some masala powder for our chai, which will be the most incredible chai when we get home. Good, yeah. So anybody that comes around to our home will have some chai, and it will taste amazing. Some masala chai. So yeah, we walked around narrow streets. We saw the main temple there, which was the Shiva temple that was covered in gold, which was donated by the same king that did the temple in Amritsar. So that was good to see, and we just saw it from a distance. And yeah, what else did we see? We then went, so we did all of that. Amazing, great. Kind of feel like I've ticked Varanasi now. Would I go back? If there was an opportunity to go back, if I was running a retreat for people that wanted to go to India and they want to go to Varanasi, yeah, I wouldn't do it in the car because it's a long way from where we were, but I'd do it on a train maybe, and maybe go on the old Ghat to see it. But it would only be if I was taking other people with me. I don't need to go back there. I've seen it, I've done it, I've experienced it. It was a happy place. It was incredibly powerful, amazing. But I feel like I've personally done that and don't need to go back, but I would take a tour. But then we went to Sarnath, which I didn't think we would have time to do. And Sarnath is one of the 4 places that Buddhists go for a pilgrimage, and it's where he first taught. And so we went there, and that was really interesting as well, and really enjoyed going around there. They've done it very well. They look after it. They've excavated a lot of stuff, not relating to Buddha, but relating to late, much later. I can't remember the dates. Again, I have done a little video on it, and we saw the stupa where Buddha first taught. So that was incredible. We really enjoyed that. It was really nice. We enjoyed that. It was very open, very clean. It was lovely. Um, so yeah, that was that. Then we chilled in the afternoon, and the next day we were on our way to Rathenborough Safari, and we'd stopped just for a quick night stay in Orchard, and I'd booked a farm stay for us to stay in. Had such good reviews online, and so we stopped off there. Didn't have time to explore Orchard. Now that is one place I would like to go back because it looks very historic. It got some ancient temples there. Looked amazing, and it's got a massive river which was beautiful. It just looked really nice, and the landscape was very flat. And then you've got these beautiful temples and stuff. So yeah, I think we may well go back to Orchard, and especially the house that we stayed in. It was incredible. It was one of the nicest homes that we've been to, if not the nicest home in India. It was absolutely beautiful. They've done it so well. They just built the land. They bought the land, and then they built the house on the land, and they've made it into such a beautiful sacred home. It was immaculately clean. They cooked for us, and it was lovely. They took into account that Will couldn't take the heat. Um, and it was just really nice. Loved it there, and I really loved it there. Actually, we could just breathe, and we just came back into ourselves after all the driving that we did. I think it was 800 kilometers. I think we did from wherever we Dehendran to Varanasi. It might have even been more. It was so long in the car. It was really hard. But there we managed to just stop just for one evening, have some lovely food cooked for us, and it was just beautiful. And just while I'm talking about that, because I said to you back in Varanasi when I got to the hotel, how happy I felt in Varanasi when I first got there, and that was the first thing that our guide told us, that it was a the name stood for it had 3 different names, and that one of them stood for happy, the juice of life and the happiness, and the other one was about cosmic light. So I just found that really interesting. So then coming to Orchard and this beautiful home, which I've also done a YouTube video on, which will be coming out. There was just a little something that was just incredible. I cried when I left there. There was something very sacred in that house. And so basically, when we were having breakfast, I'd noticed it the night before, but in the morning, I saw this beautiful glass Ganesha, crystal Ganesha. It had looked like gold on it. It was just like really drew me to it. So I went over, and I like welled up tears, and tears was like spilling over. And it was like it touched my soul. It happened to be in the Dalai Lama's temple up in Dharamsala, when I turned up in the temple and just cried. But it's like a soul touch here. It was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I asked the host what the history was around the Buddha, and basically they had, as most homes do in India, they had the house blessed by a priest, and that was a gift given by the priest to them. And bearing in mind this house was full of Buddhas and everything else, I found that just really interesting how I was drawn to that particular Ganesha, because obviously that's what I do for a living. I go around to people's houses, I clean them, I clear them, and do the blessings and everything, and just how, and I can just understand how this house just felt so sacred and so beautiful, that such a beautiful ceremony had taken place in there, and I really felt the energy. The host was surprised, I was surprised, but it was amazing, and yeah, I was really that house touched me, and it was one of the rare homes that's never happened before in a home, apart from the Dalai Lama's temple. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I was sad to leave there, and I could have stayed for ages, and maybe one day we'll return. Um, and then we went from Orchard to Rathenborough. Now, the road from Orchard to Rathenborough were really bad, um, and the road from Varanasi to Orchard was really bad, but particularly going from Orchard to Rathenborough, the safari we're going to go on, Will I Can, was definitely Will I Can't. He was very, very unwell. I think all the travelling had just got to him, and the roads. It was like 100 kilometres of road that was um, just like a, oh, I can't even think. It had loads of potholes in it. It was dusty. There was no tarmac. It was just awful. It was absolutely awful. And poor Will I Can was, yeah, not well at all. We had to stop the car, and yeah, bless him. Oh dear. But we got there. Eventually, we got there, and we managed to we didn't get there too late, so we managed to sort of sort ourselves out that evening. And then on the Friday morning, we were up for safari to go and find tigers. And we had a morning safari and we had an evening safari. And I didn't know if Will was going to be able to make it, but Will I Can did make it. Yay! And it was amazing. It was incredible. It was really good. We didn't get to see Tiger this time. I saw Tiger last time with Harriet, but didn't get to see it um, with Will. But we had a great time. What did we see? We saw mongoose, we saw monkeys, we saw deer, we saw crocodiles, we saw what else did we see? Peacocks. Yeah, no tiger. They were definitely snoozing that day, and I don't think anybody on safari that day saw tigers. They definitely weren't out to play. So, but what was interesting on the last safari, the afternoon safari, this lady sat next to us. She was sitting somewhere else, and then she got moved to sit right next to us. And her name was Lisa, and she's a yoga instructor from Claygate, just down the road from us. Couldn't believe it. It felt like a divine synchronization, magical moment. And we had a great chat, great catch up. We've swapped numbers. What a lovely lady. She'd been touring India on her own for 3 weeks, and she does retreats, yoga retreats. Amazing lady. So that was cool. And then on Saturday, we'd driven from Ranthambore, which was also a bit of a difficult road, but not as bad, not nearly as bad as the Orchard to Ranthambore one, to Pushkar. And that's just where Saturday we collapsed. Just worked, caught up, had dinner, and we watched the new series of All Creatures Great and Small, which is Will I Can's lovely comfort little series he loves to watch, and I enjoy it too. So that was really nice. And then on Sunday, we went to see the gentleman that makes our dungarees, and it was the manufacturer for Lucy and Yak that made their dungarees, and he now makes dungarees for us. And so we went to see him, and we chose some new colours, exciting, for our dungarees, and we chose a couple of other dresses and things. So it was really nice to catch up with him, and he's built a hotel. So we went to visit that, which was amazing of what he's achieved, absolutely amazing. And I wish him every success for that. So it was really nice to go and see him. And then we went to see a jewellery supplier that we love to buy our jewellery from, for Quest, that beautiful shop in Epsom. So yeah, I spent the afternoon choosing beautiful pieces of jewellery, and what a joy that was. And then we collapsed in the evening. So you are bang up to date now of our week. It was incredible. It was full on, the driving from Dehundran to, well, actually from Shimla all the way to Varanasi. If you look it up on the map, oh my goodness me, what a journey we've done. So what's happening this week? Well, this week we are going Pushkar to Delhi via Jaipur, where we are going to go and see another supplier in Jaipur. We're staying in Delhi for a couple of nights, and then we're coming home. So we are getting home Friday morning. So I'll be bringing the podcast to you next week from the UK. Hooray! So how was your week? Was it a good one? Were you busy? How's things going? I mean, I feel like we're like in our own little world here doing this, and not really reading any news or knowing what is going on. Quest is being looked after. Uh, and so, yeah, it's been good. Right, let's just do a quick meditation. So just wherever you are, why not just stop what you're doing just for the moment? Stand tall, relax your shoulders, feet firmly on the ground, and just take a breath in and a breath out. Breathing in, breathing out. Knowing everything is happening for you. You're exactly where you need to be in order to move forward. Allowing everything to be here. Straightening your back, relaxing your shoulders, standing tall. Why not put your hands in the air, stretch your arms up and out and wide, and just say yes to life. What do you want to feel today? Bring that in. Bring your hands into prayer position. Put your hands over your heart. What do you want to feel today? Welcoming everything into this moment. Allowing those feelings just to mingle with all of you. Those feelings of what you want to achieve today, what you want to feel. Well, thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Take care. And don't forget, go onto my YouTube and subscribe, and all my social media at The Soul Coach, just to like, subscribe, comment on some of the videos. I hope you really enjoy it, and you'll see it all on there because I am posting like a queen. Alright, take care, bye.
That's my week wrapped up. What stood out, what shifted, and what I'm taking forward. Now it's over to you. What moments shaped your week? What inspired you? Let's keep the conversation going. Come and connect with me on @thesoulcoach or YouTube and let me know your thoughts. If this episode spoke to you, feel free to share it, tag me, or send it to someone who might enjoy it too. See you next week for another reflection, but until then, take care, stay present, and keep journeying within.